All right, we're gonna start seated. And we're gonna work on a little upper body strength and ankle mobility. But we'll start seated. Warm up those small joints, and we'll do some stuff with blocks. All right, so getting all nice and settled. And let's start with small joints. So we'll start with the ankles first. To begin with, so we're going to bring the toes back towards the chest, bend the knees a little bit, pull them back, checking in with the breath. Excellent. And then we're going to point and flex. So you can do both together, one at a time, go opposites. Excellent. All right, release that one, and then we're going to do circles around with the ankles. You can go one direction and then the other. Excellent. All right, release that one. So we're going to open and close the toes. So open them up and then close them. Excellent. All right, release that one. Supinate and pronate. Sole of the foot in towards the center and then up towards the side, back and forth. Do both together or opposites. Excellent. All right, release that one, and then we're going to finish off with the windshield wipers. And two options here. You can go in together, out together, or side to side, or do both. But noticing how that's moving the hip socket. Excellent. You can release that and shake it out. All right, option to keep your legs out straight or cross your legs. We're going to move up to the wrist. So arms straight out in front. We're going to tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and make circles with the wrists. Getting into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent. Release that and check it out. Then we're going to bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure eights. Excellent. We're going to pause for a moment, pull the hands apart, switch fingers on top. Do a couple more. Excellent. Release that and shake it out. We're going to do a couple more with the wrists here since we're going to be doing a little bit more on the hands and knees today. So we're going to extend one arm out again, fingers point down towards the floor. Take the opposite hand, push into the back of the hand. That hand pushes into the fingers. Excellent. Release that direction, and then we're going to point the fingers up towards the ceiling, and then gently pull them back towards the shoulder. It's tight. All right, release that, and then we'll do the thumb down towards the floor. Nice. Release that and shake it out. All right, let's do the other arm, fingers down towards the floor. Push the fingers into the back of the hand and vice versa. Excellent. And then fingers up towards the ceiling, pull the fingers back towards the shoulder. Nice. And then last one, thumb down towards the floor. Excellent. Release that and shake it out. Awesome sauce. All right, let's move up to the neck and shoulders. So we'll start with our with an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest as far as it'll go, and then inhale, looking up, and then exhale all the way back down. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, back down. Nice and slow. Inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way back down. Nice. Inhale back to neutral. And then we're going to go ear to shoulder. First side, exhale, ear to shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center one more time, each side back to the first side. If you want, you can bring that same arm out and over and around, resting on the other side of the head. Just using a little bit extra for gravity, making space between the ear and the shoulder. Breathing into any tension that you're finding. And release the tension with the exhale. Nice. To come out, we're going to inhale, head comes up, arm releases back down. Other side, exhale, ear to shoulder. That arm can come out and over, resting gently on that side of the head, making space between the ear and shoulder. And then using the breath to release the tension. Inhale, and exhale, release the tension. Come out, we're going to inhale, head comes up nice and slow, and arm comes down. Next, one more with the neck here, so we're looking straight ahead. Inhale, on the exhale, chin comes around towards the shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, center one more time each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale back to center. We're going to release that and then come down to the shoulders. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Excellent. Let's reverse direction. Inhale back and up. Exhale down and forward. Excellent. A couple more, either direction or straight up and down. Excellent. All right. Release that. And then we're going to do our 6 directions of the spine. So if it's comfortable to sit cross-legged, you can do that. You can switch which foot is in front, or legs can be straight out. If you're cross-legged, hands under the knees. If the legs are out, hands under the thighs. We're going to start with our exhale back to cat. tucking the chin and the tailbone. On the inhale, rounding up, looking up, cow. Exhale, back to cat. Inhale. And exhale. Do a couple more in each direction. Excellent. And then meeting back in neutral. Next, we're going to do our laterals. So we'll bring one hand down to the floor. Inhale, this other arm up and over. Exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale. And exhale. So pushing that hand that's on the floor down keeps that opposite knee from popping up. Excellent. Let's do one more time each side. Excellent. And then back to center. All right, let's do a little gentle twist here. So we're going to inhale nice and tall. On the exhale, turning to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Back and forth, nice and slow and gentle. Keeping the twist in the upper half to upper third of the spine. Nice. One more time each side. And then back to center. Excellent. All right, so let's bring the legs out in front again. And we're gonna counterpose that with a few forward folds. And we're gonna use our friend gravity here. So inhale, arms coming up. We're hinging at those hip joints. Exhale, fold forward wherever you reach, tap down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down, inhale. And exhale.